Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can all hear me. I really don't know what is going on with my camera. Let me see here. Maybe it's too bright. I don't know. Anyways, I guess that's on the list of something to upgrade, even though my camera's pretty new. Technology, right? Can everybody hear me okay? Because I did get new microphones, so I'm hoping that you can all hear me. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Hello, hello. Just fine. Okay, perfect. Perfect, yay. All right, let me scooch back in my chair here. All right, I was looking for my coffee. Like, where did I set my coffee? And then I realized I keep cutting out. Okay, let me know if I keep cutting out. I'll just continue to talk. I was looking for my coffee, and then I realized, I'm like, where did I put it? And I finished my coffee. I didn't even realize that I finished my coffee. Okay, I'll keep an eye at the chat. If it gets wonky, let me know. Hopefully it's fine. But I am super excited. As most of you may have seen, if not, I'm going to let you know about my upcoming class. Just real quick, it's a Basics and Beyond Distress Spray class, and I titled it that way because I wanted to bring in people that are very, very new. I see many of you are very new to sprays. So we will go over some basic techniques, and then also some people that want to take them to the next level and use different pace. Like this is a card we will be creating in the class. Where's the other card? This is a card that we'll be creating live in the class. Okay. And then this is one that I pre-recorded. I added, well, you'll just have to see what I added if you take the class. The link is in the description box, as well as it's pinned in the comments if you are on a device. So I hope everybody can join me, and the price will go up to $24 on after August 24th. So just keep that in mind, and there is a payment option. So hopefully many of you can sign up. If you can't make it live, no worries. You have access to the live replay and then all of the materials as well. I am ironing out the last few little details for a couple of the pre-recorded videos, and then everybody that's already signed up should have access tomorrow, if not, what's today, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm just going to give you a little peek at the 35-page workbook, handbook, whatever you want to call it. It has so much information, and if anybody has signed up for the class and has looked at this, let me know if it's helpful. And yeah, let everybody know in the comments, because I worked so hard on this and I'm super, super proud of this. I absolutely love this. So it has lots of basic information, and then not many techniques in here, but we cover a lot of techniques in the pre-recorded content. And I believe that if you're not into classes, no worries, but you need some color inspiration, I have a Distress Spray Color Combos Guide, and you can grab that for free. The link should be in the description box. And we are going to use, which one did I use? I think it's this one. Let me see. Oh, no, this color combination right here. Whoops. From my color combo guide. There's 18 of them in here. Okay. Let's see. What else? There was something else I was going to say. Oh, and I am, for those that sign up for the class, or any of my classes, paid classes, you get access to an exclusive Facebook page, and I'm starting something new, and we're going to be doing some challenges in there like every other month, just to give people enough time to get creative and get them done. And I'll be doing some giveaways in there as well. So yeah. Yes, you will have access to the live replay, and then of course all of the other content. If you signed up for the class, it will be in the initial email. It has all of the prep that you need to do before the class, everything. Super prepared this time. Although once I get to the class, I probably will have forgotten something because that always happens. Anyways, enough about class. If you have any questions, let me know. We are going to be, where did I put my paper? See what I mean? Oh, there it is. All right. I'm going to be using some mixed media paper from scrapbook.com, and I'm just going to zoom in just a tad. There we go. And I'm going to take a few pages out here. We're just going to go over a few little techniques and things. So we're going to do, I think we're going to do a little bit of smushing. It's a pretty basic technique. Where is my mat? There it is. And I can't stress enough that if you're using sprays, the paper you use is the most important thing. Okay, you can use DIY sprays, you can use mica powder sprays, whatever you use, the paper is the most important thing. Okay, I'm going to ask you, what's the most important thing when using sprays? Because I can't stress enough how important it is to use the right paper. And when I say the right paper, I'm not just meaning like a heavy cardstock, because Nina 110 is not going to work for this, to work for sprays. Okay, so I have quite a bit of paper here. I'm just gonna, and it doesn't have to be this specific paper. I do have a free PDF download with my favorite papers, which it used to be 6, but now it's 5. And, you know, it's not an end all be all. It's just my, you know, I say opinion lightly only because the brands and things are my opinion. But as far as like the mixed media paper, and not all mixed media paper works. Not all watercolor works the same. Watercolor paper works the same. So you have to keep in mind of that as well. What are your thoughts on watercolor paper? Depends on the look. So I find that watercolor paper is really great, but the thing with watercolor paper, it's very, very porous. So I find that I get a little more muted look with watercolor paper. So that's why I tend to use more of like mixed media paper. But you definitely can. I probably have some, like this one is using watercolor paper, and I use the textured side, but this is using distressed crayons. This was from my distressed crayon class. So they do work. You can use it for sure. Oh no, this is another watercolor paper. Okay, so let me show you the same colors on, or similar colors, I should say, on pretty much the same, but you kind of have to see it in person. It's a little more muted. Okay. All right, someone's asking any of Tim's will. If you have like 2 or 3 year old mixed media heavy stock, then yes, but the newer stuff will not. Like if you just purchased it, it won't work. And I've went over that because something had changed and I didn't realize it. So I kept, over years, I kept recommending the paper because I buy in bulk because I never want to run out. So I had no idea that it had changed. until I opened up a new pack. And then I noticed as well, and it may be a fluke, but this color paper, this one as well, in my opinion, has changed slightly, even though this is supposed to be the same as the tags. Sorry if I get really loud because I'm bending over. This is supposed to be the same as the tags, but I don't know. It's just something's different with it. So I would just stick with like Strathmore, Canson. You can get those at like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, any art store, things like that. All right, I'm just going to put these back. I'm not going to yell in your ear. All right, hope that helps. All right, and I go over more of all of this information in the class as well. So if you're really wanting to get more information, then definitely think about the class. So it's on August 24th. I use Bristol Smooth paper, and I also have Bristol Vellum Surface paper. I don't know if it's the exact same as Bristol Smooth, but it says Vellum Surface on it, and that works great as well. Oh, you're in Sweden. Yeah, okay. Hopefully you find something that works. Mixed media should work, but as far as like the Ranger brands, I'm pretty sure they still say mixed media, but they don't work in my opinion. Okay. And I want to say that very like, there's no like shame. And, sometimes companies have to change where they get their stuff made from and things. And sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen. So it is what it is. We move on. I use my Distress Heavy Stock for card bases now, and it is what it is. All right. Now that I'm 15 minutes jabbering. All right. Let's see. We're going to do, again, some smushing. So I'm just going to take a simple 2-color combination. This is going to be Salvage Patina and Rusty Hinge. And I'm just going to spray it right on my mat here. This is a non-stick mat. And I'm going to spray a little bit here. And this is a continuous spray bottle. You can find this on Amazon. I really love this for certain things, not everything. I just added a little bit of water to my mat and then to my paper here. And we're just going to smush down. And I'm going to happy finger dance all over the back of my paper here. And then we're just going to swipe it up. This is a great technique for those of you that have not sprayed your sprays direct to paper and you're kind of hesitant, because look at the coverage you get, one, and then this can end up being something amazing. So, oh, I did not plug in my heat tool. And there is construction going on, so I apologize. They are doing the roof, so they are cutting roof tiles, and the noise is horrendous. It just travels right through my window. And I almost decided to postpone the live, but then I'm like, you know what? It's only now and then when they do it. So hopefully it doesn't, it's not too loud on camera. But all right, so now we're going to dry this, okay? Not a whole lot. Yeah, they're not doing it right now, but they will in probably a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to take whatever is left on my mat here and carefully add it because I don't like wasting. Okay, and then that's another layer. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to take my Tim Holtz sprayer now and then just lightly, very lightly tap, tap, tap my spray nozzle, and then I get the dripples of water. And then we're going to dry this. If you don't have patience and you want to get the look of like this, with your sprays, good luck, because it's definitely a process. And I talk about this in the class as well, in a couple different pre-recorded videos, that I find that people tend to stop too soon, and they've expressed that to me a lot, where when they take a class or they see a live or whatever, some sort of video, when I explain the process of how I get all of this texture and depth in my backgrounds, they're like, oh, I stopped too soon. So most people, this is their process, and it's beautiful just as is. But again, if you're going to want to get a lot of depth and interest and texture, then you definitely need to keep adding layers. So we're going to smush that in. And again, there's another layer. I think I might. And then if you're running out of color on your mat here, then you can definitely add more. And what I like to do at this stage is add splatters. So I don't really spray again because I don't feel it needs it. If your color is very light, then you may want to spray again. Where's salvage patina? And I'm gonna add that there. And we're going to take our spray bottle and just tap, tap, tap. Okay. I also want to say, if you know somebody that loves sprays or you feel like could benefit from the spray class, share it. I really am passionate about helping as many people as I can. And everybody watching my free videos here on YouTube and using the affiliate links that I provide really help, so that I can keep the class cost low. All right, I'm just going to get some of that green up. I don't want the green down there. All right. I'm going to splatter some more, and we're going to dry again. Oh, you know what I forgot? And they're my favorite thing, are these cooling racks. So I got these cooling racks so that I can dry my backgrounds on top so that the air goes all the way through and around. And so I can have one hand free to kind of play around if I need to with my spray bottle. And sometimes I do. It just helps it dry a little bit faster. Okay. And then if you're finding to have too much, you can always dab some of that up. Yes, the cooling rack has been a game changer. And especially when I'm working on like multiple projects, because there's 2 in a pack. And I think I'm actually going to get a couple more packs, because I can just take it and say, you know what? And you have to be careful because obviously it's hot. But you know what? I want to set this aside and I want to work on another one. So I can pull in another rack and then, you know, put this one aside and work on another one. So I think they're great to have. If you're working on bigger papers, obviously you're going to need a bigger cooling rack. All right, we're going to go in, I think, up top with a little more splatters here. Okay. Maybe a hair dryer. I don't know. I think the heat, well, yeah, because the hair dryer probably has more airflow. And then down here, it's pretty like basic. So I want to add more texture here at the bottom. specifically because I love all of this that's going on right here. And my rule for myself is I always tend to stop when I like my project or my background at least 80%. Because if I'm like, oh, I like it, but I don't want to ruin it. And if I'm like, okay, I like everything except for this little spot here or whatever, or like down here, then I'm like, okay, I can work with that because I can either cover it up. You can die cut out of it. Like there's so many different things that you can do. And it's easy to overwork a background because you can always add. That's why I like to use splatters versus like continually spraying it over and over, because you can definitely overwork your background and then it's harder to take away, right? So I'm going to actually take some of this up so that I can get more depth in it. I'm actually going to take some of this up over here too. I'm going to show you. Isn't that cool? All right, I'm going to show you if I can find it. So I wanted to show you guys the stack of backgrounds, and I have a few more here, but this is just most of the backgrounds and things that we'll be doing in class. So just keep that in mind. Not everything we'll be doing live, obviously, because, you know, I don't have 5 days to spend with you. But there's a lot that's going to be covered in the class. So, and if you don't have sprays but are curious and you have the like re-inkers, you can make your own sprays and then decide, you know what, I hate sprays, or you could decide, you know what, I really like sprays, and then you can either just continue to make your own, or you can buy the colors. So I'm going to let that soak in just for a second, and then I'm going to soak it up with the, there we go, with the paper towel. Will we be making any finished cards or only? No, we actually are going to finish a card. So I have 2 examples. I'll probably have 3 by the time the live class comes. I will try to work on a 3rd one. But let's see, where did I put them? So in the live class, we will be making this one. Okay, so we will be going through the whole process of doing this whole background, and then we'll finish the card off so that you have a finished card. Okay, and then this one here, it shows up really dark on camera, but it's really not that dark. But we use a lot of different supplies that you may have in your stash, and to create a more like next level mixed media card, I guess. So, and of course, you don't have to use the same backgrounds or the same colors as I'm using. Just pick a few colors that you like that will have a great color combination, because you don't want to, you know, have colors that don't work together, right? So that's all I suggest. You don't have to use, if purples aren't your thing, then you definitely don't have to use purple. You can use whatever color combination you want. I do suggest getting a oxide and also a mica stain, only because, so you want all 4 sprays. So if you want the full experience of the class, like if you're like, I hate mica, I hate shimmer, then I don't get the mica or the spritz. But if you're like, I want to make these backgrounds, let me grab them right somewhere. I have so many. All right, let's see. Of course, cannot find the one I'm looking for. Where are you? Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Yeah. So if you want to create something like this, it has oxide, mica, a little bit of spritz in there, and then also the stain. So it has all 4 sprays. Then you definitely need to get all 4 sprays. So just keep that in mind, okay? And you can, use what you have and then decide later also, like, oh, you know what? I actually kind of like the oxide, or, I have a lot of the oxides and I'm trying to use them more, because I tend to forget. Like I'm sure most everybody has a lot of supplies, and I tend to forget sometimes about some of them. And my oxides are definitely one of those things that I forget. So, what I do notice too, that you could see that when I work that spray a lot and then I let that soak in, it almost looks like oxide. It kind of starts to mimic the oxide effect. So, and then same thing up here, but it's a little bit lighter. These two colors are Salvaged Patina Stain and then Rusty Hinge Stain. I do prefer stains over any of the colors, but I will say that when I was working through the different sprays, the spritz, or I'm sorry, there's so many different types. The mica stains really stole my heart. So this is one of the backgrounds. This is just using mica stain. Because there's that pigment and the mica in there. It is so pretty. And I don't think I ever used just the mica before on a background. And it's so pretty. Anyways, all right. I need a little drink of water. I haven't done a live in several weeks. We were finishing up summer, and we went to San Diego, and then of course, when we get back, my husband had gone on a business trip, and then getting the kids ready for school. They're in school now. Some of you may know I was homeschooling Abby last year, and I am glad that she decided, well, I kind of forced her to try to go back to school. Only because she really wants to play violin, and there's really not many options for what's it called? Private lessons. And here you're not able to take your kid midday for just like one class if you're homeschooling, or at least I don't think. And it's in the next town over, which isn't too far. It's like 15 minutes, but it's hard to like, okay, here you go for 40 minutes. And then what am I going to do for 40 minutes, every single day? So I'm just going to try it, and then hopefully it works out. My son is a senior this year, which is crazy. They do this senior sunrise, where they do it at the beginning of the year to like start, the beginning of your senior year. And then at the end of the year, they do a senior sunset to end the senior year. All right. I need to stop talking about that because it's going to make me sad. All right. So we're going to just add more color, just a little bit. And we're going to add a little bit of water splotches. I'm very talkative today. I apologize. But that's kind of why I like to do lives, because they're more like relaxed and I can just chit chat with my friends. All right, we're going to dry this. I'm hoping she'll do fine too. Mica spray stains are my favorite. They're beginning. I don't really do a lot of like mica, and I've said this, if you've watched my channel for, any amount of time, then you know that I don't really do a lot of shimmer or glitter or anything like that. So I was really surprised how much I like the mica stains, and I think it's because there's the color in there in which it kind of separates a little bit. And so like in the center, it's just the color, and then like it did something really cool underneath the paste, which the mica kind of like pulled up underneath there, highlighting those numbers or the design a little bit more. So really cool. If you want to learn more about that, you can check out my new class. All right. I'm going to just pick up some of this. And where's my phone? Hold on one second. All right. So I think this is good. And do we want to see another color combination, or do we still want to work on this one? Because I can still do some things with this. And I'm going to set this aside. And I actually got some new stamps. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do some stamping on top of it. Then I just open this up over here. I got this set here. Another color combination. Okay, let me just finish my thought process. And I'm just going to stamp this right there. I'm going to do it in white. And this is a pigment ink from scrapbook.com. I wasn't going to get this set, and I actually got this one too, which not that I regret it, but I'm like, oh, I could like take all of my other stamps that I have and collage my own. And I was actually thinking about doing a video about that. So, all right, we're going to ink this up just like so. And just going to stamp it about there. And it's probably not going to be very dark, which is fine. I just want a very faint, and I think I moved it. So we'll see. Yep, perfect. Just like that. Okay. We're going to move on to another color combination. And I just cleaned my desk, and now it's a big mess again. All right, I need to clean this up because I'm going to be using a different color combination. And this next one, you can find this color combination. It's going to be this one in my newest free PDF download. The link is in the description box. And this one's Pumice Stone, Uncharted Mariner, Lost Shadow Oxide, and Fresh Balsam Mica Stain. So I like to start off with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to go in with, let's see, what did I say it was? Pumice Stone. So I'm going to go in with Pumice Stone first. And we're going to kind of mimic this. So we're going to put Pumice Stone on the edges, and then Uncharted Mariner, and then Oxide, and then a little bit of Mica Stain. So I'm going to add Pumice Stone here. Pumice Stone, if you download the PDF, you will find that this is like one of my go-tos for color combinations. It's actually really, really pretty with a lot of colors. So I'm going to add that there. And then while it's still wet, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of water. And I'm going to grab my cooling rack there. And then I'm going to take my oxide while it's still wet. Okay. I'm going to shake it up because it's very important that you shake the oxide up. And I'm going to spray it in the areas that I want a little bit lighter. And we'll go back over again. So don't worry if you're like, oh, it's mixing all together. That's what you want, okay? But I do want to make sure that all of the stain gets everywhere. All right, and I'm going to dry this. And if there's any spots where it needs to kind of fill in, I'll just use my fingers to fill that in. And then if it's pooling up on the sides, I'll just take my paper towel, just kind of dab that up a little bit. I am using mixed media paper. Where is it? It's from scrapbook.com. I can't find the actual paper pad to show you, but it's from scrapbook.com. Where did my paper go? Who knows? All right, now we're going to add another layer, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the nozzle out and then just splatter it on there over top of where I added it before. So sticking with the pumice stone in the corners there. And then I'm going to go in with Uncharted Mariner. And then I'm going to splatter on some of the oxide as well. Okay, and then this is when I like to add the mica stain. Mica stain goes a long way, a little bit goes a long way. So for this one, you just get that very light shimmer of green, which I feel is really, really pretty. Just gonna shake this up because there's all of that mica at the bottom, so you need to make sure that it mixes in, get the full effect. Okay, I'm gonna go in, and I don't spray this on these types of backgrounds. I'm just going to lightly tap it where I want that color, and it's going to be mostly next to the pumice stone. And then maybe a little bit there because it accidentally landed there. So I get what I get. All right, now we're going to take our Tim Holtz sprayer. And I really like this one because you can control the spray. And I'm just going to lightly spray. I'm going to add a little bit more water to the mica and to let that kind of mix together and flow where it wants. And I'm just lightly tapping my nozzle over top of all of the splatters of color. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to dry. All right. And it's my birthday month. Does anybody remember, did anybody do the poll where I told everybody when my birthday was? Anybody remember when my birthday is? Sorry, I'm running out of things to say about what I'm doing to the background, so I'm just trying to talk. Oh, Wendy, you can watch the replay for sure. All right. Just going to dab some of these areas up. The 23rd, yes. All right. Sorry. This is the nature of doing these types of backgrounds. Lots of drying, lots of layers, and lots of patience goes into these backgrounds. Anybody else have an August birthday? There were several people with the same birthday as me, so which is kind of cool. Yesterday, it was my husband's grandma's birthday, my late great grandma's birthday, two of my cousins, and one of my husband's cousin's birthday. Just crazy. I haven't put a supply list yet. I totally spaced it. What color would you use if you don't have pumice stone? Ooh, that's a good question. Let me just 1 second. Let me just dry this. I'm going to go look so I can bring you guys with me now because my microphone works. It travels with me. All right, so pumice stone is, where's pumice stone? Here. Ooh. I don't know if there is an actual replacement for pumice stone. Usually there is, like you can use one, but Lost Shadow I feel is a little too light. It's gray, and then Hickory Smoke is a little too gray. Like pumice stone is a really great color on its own because it looks gray, but it's almost like a brown gray. It's really, really great color to have in your stash if you can. But if you don't have it, try Hickory Smoke and see if that works because that's right next to pumice stone. Hey, Debbie, how are you? All right, I'm going to add some more. So I'm going to splatter. Weathered wood is more blue. Wait, where is pumice stone? Did I say the wrong one? All right. Just add a little bit more color here and there. And then I'm going to add some of the oxide as well. Sometimes I forget the colors because some of them look like they're supposed to be a certain color, and then what is a metal grid you're using? Does it help? Debbie, it's a like a cookie cooling rack. And I find that it does help. So I'm just going to add little spritzes of water here. Spritz, spritz, spritz. Drop, drop, drop. Okay, and then we're going to dry again. We're not going to be using pumice stone in the class, Kathy. I am going to be strictly using this color combination. Mainly, just to keep it simple. And it is Seedless Preserves, Stain, Uncharted Mariner Stain, Lost Shadow Oxide, and Mica in Crooked Broomstick and Winter Frost Mica. And then in a lot of the backgrounds, I throw in a little bit of Peacock Feathers Spritz, just so that you're aware. But again, use whatever colors you want. Kathy, it is like a little brown green, like it's weird, but you might be seeing a little bit more green in the pumice stone because I did add the this one here. See the fresh balsam mica stain. So that's giving it more of a green tint, I think. Yeah, so the and you can find color combinations, all over the place. I have, I think, 3 or 4 different color combination guides now, but my newest one has a lot of combinations that include oxide, stain, and then mica as well. So if you have all of the different sprays, then it's a great one to have. All right, I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. And, oh, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate you. All right, now I'm going to dry this again. And I don't like too much mica, so I'm not going to add any more mica. If you like more shimmer, definitely go ahead and add more. If you want a lot of shimmer, I would suggest using the spritz, like especially over top of the blue. All right. Again, I know this can be kind of boring, but you just got to trust the process for sure. I like the size of it. Yes, they are. What size is it? This is probably super hot. Let me grab my other one. I think it's like an 8 or no. Yeah, 8 by 6. So it's a great size. Perfect for our card panels. And they come in a pack of 2. I got them on Instagram. I got them off of what's it called? Amazon. Realizing it's almost better to watch as you do it and listen rather than sometimes, yeah. Some people in my classes can work just as fast or faster than me. I personally can't, even if they are like the most calm, slowest teachers. I like to watch and then I'm like, okay, that's how they do it. And then I'll go back and rewatch the video as I'm doing it later on. So, and I don't take a lot of classes like at all, but like if I'm, watching a video or anything and I'm like, oh, how did they do that? Then I'll rewatch it. It's hard for me to create and do it at the same time. I did take Mary Polanco's alcohol marker class because I have these Oahu markers. They had sent them to me and I'm like, I need to figure out how to use these. And she's great at coloring. And I took her class. And most of my coloring happened after the fact, after her class was done. So this is this one. Look at, you could see the shimmer in there. Super, super pretty. I love that. I love this color combination. So pretty. All right. That's pretty much it. I had an hour carved out. So if you have any questions, let me know. My main focus was to get you to kind of be a little more comfortable with sprays. And then, of course, if you want to sign up for my newest class, the link is in the description and as well as it's pinned to the top. I would love to have as many people as possible. So share it if you are going to take it or if you know somebody that could use it. All right, question. Can you talk about using the heat tool versus a dual speed embossing heat gun? Okay. I use this heat tool because it gives the more like overall heat and not like an air or a hair blow dryer. Is that what you call it? I don't use one. So I feel like sometimes even on the lowest setting, it's a little bit too much air coming out. So this one's great because it's heat as well as an overall, because this one you could see it's more directed. So that's why I use this one versus you can use either one. This one just gives a more overall coverage of heat and air. But if you don't have to go out and buy a new one if you have a embossing tool already. Like this one, I have this hair dryer. I use this one for alcohol inks. So this one's completely different than both of those. Melissa, I didn't cut off very much hair. I cut off maybe like 3 or 4 inches, 5 inches at the most, maybe. Abby cut off, how much did she cut off? I think 12 or 13 inches. Her hair was down to her bum and she cut it to her shoulders. So I actually still have to print the stuff out to send it in to donate it. But I still wanted my hair long this time, which I usually am like, okay, after 3-4 years of growing it out, I'm like, I'm done. I need a something different. I need a change. But this time I was like, no. All right, my water drips made the ink drips too watered down. There is a learning curve to the yes. So as you like, I would just sit and play for a little bit. And I think Kathy, you said that you bought the class. There is like a warm up video that is sent initially when you sign up. So definitely watch that. Maybe it will help you out a little bit. And then also on Friday, I'm going to say Friday, all of the pre-recorded content will be available, and I'll send out a mass email to everybody that signed up so that you know that they're available. But even though it's like a technique, like say it's like a smushing technique or a splatter technique, whatever the case may be, if it's like a simple technique, you're like, oh, I already know how to do that. I would still maybe watch some of them because I throw in like tidbits of information in each video. So I think sometimes it's good to watch them all. How much water would you use if making a spray? I think I do have a video on this, so I would definitely check it out. I want to say that I did like 8 to 10 or 12 drops of reinker to a little, I can't find it, of course, the little spray bottle. So not a big spray bottle. I did not make a big one. Let me see if I can find it. To one of these. Yep, that's what I did. And depending on how vibrant you want the color too. So like you also have to think like Lost Shadow is very, very light already. So you're not going to get it really any darker than adding like maybe 10 drops of whatever. So keep that in mind too, because you could be wasting a lot of your reinkers for no reason trying to get a color that's darker. So, and like Uncharted Mariner, for example, you can get a lot more variation with this color because it's so dark versus Lost Shadow, or like a lighter, like Salvaged Patina. Although Salvaged Patina, you can get a pretty good variation as well. So yeah, I hope that helps. And I hope many of you join the class. It's $12 until after August 24th. It will go up to $24. So keep that in mind. And there is a payment option as well. So it's a great class. I think this is one of my most favorite mediums. So I'm the most excited about it. And that's why the pre-recorded content is not out yet, because I'm like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, what about this? And yeah, so I'm going to show you guys. I tried something and I did not know if it was going to work. If I can find it. I have so much stuff everywhere. I'm not going to say what's on the paper, anything like that, because that's for the class. Where is it? I want to show you because it looks so cool. All right, any questions? Will you be doing another live where, oh my gosh, I totally forgot, Jennifer. I was supposed to be doing stencils. I'm going to have to change that name. I am, and you know what? I have a pile of stencils right here too. I'm like, why did I take all these stencils out? Wow. I feel like it's a Monday. Holy moly. I can keep going if you want. After I find the, oh, there it is. So this is the one that I'm talking about. It's prepped with some stuff and it has some extra stuff on here that is actually pretty cool. So yeah, you'll learn how to do this one too. Yes. Okay. Keep going. Or an excuse for another live. Oh my gosh. I was too excited to use all these colors that I grabbed. Okay. I think we'll do another live or keep going. Keep going. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, here's the paper. Mixed media paper. Yep. People that are coming in are like, where's the stencils? Jennifer, I need you as my manager. She always keeps me in line. You're like, you need to fix this. This is, what about this? All right, now gather my thoughts, Tiffany. All right, let's see. What stencil? See, I have a bunch of them here. I grabbed a ton. Sometimes I get in the creative process and creative mode, and then I forget. I'm sure everybody might be guilty of that at some point, right? Your creative process takes a huge turn. I'm sorry, Jennifer. And oh man, okay. So, and that's why I grabbed these two easier colors, because I was like, you know what? I need to stick with a couple easy colors when I do this. Okay. I'm going to use my little mat here. And I don't really like to try to sell people on a specific product, but if you don't have a grip mat, I really highly suggest getting one. This is the Ulta New one that comes with the tourney thing. I didn't buy the tourney thing. You can grab this on its own. I love this for so many different things. So, all right. So, using sprays with stencils can be a little bit tricky. Okay. Oh, your gel plate. I find my gel plates are too sticky for that. I don't know. And then if you have a magnetic mat, you can always put your magnets through it too. These magnets that come with the Glassboard Studio mat are very, very strong. All right, I'm going to, let's see. So, thanks, Stephanie. All right, so I'm going to show you what can happen if you spray too close, which I tend to do sometimes, and it's probably the biggest mistake when using sprays with stencils, that you're like, okay, I want all this color, because I want it very vibrant. And then you go and you pick it up. Oh, come on. And then it's splotchy all over. Not all over, but some areas, okay? And I'm going to show you. I wish I had 4 hands sometimes. All right, now we're going to take another paper. I don't want to waste it. And I'm going to flip it over and just stamp that down. Even though it's going to be backwards, it's fine. Take a paper towel. And I love that it only did partial. Okay, and then you can take another paper. Where's all my papers that I got out of there? It is so much fun. You can sit and play for a very long time. Okay. Now I think I'm going to take this and take some of that and just add it to this background right here. Maybe I can, let's see, I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of water. And I'm just getting, it's probably hard to see, just getting very little on that background there. Just a little extra texture and something going on there. All right. So to avoid some of this going on, it doesn't actually look that bad. Of course, live, it's not going to do what it normally does, but usually it's kind of more like this, you know, where it's way too much if you spray too close. Okay. So I'm actually going to add, I like to add little droplets to kind of get it going. All right, I'm going to set that aside. Take another paper. And I think it helped because I had my stencil on the mat, so it was kind of holding it down a little bit more. And let's see, what stencil do I want now? Let's do this one. I really like this stencil. All right, so we're going to take this one. And I'm going to take salvaged patina first. And instead of going directly like super close like this, I'm going to spritz it from a little bit from afar and then swipe my hand just kind of like that. Okay. And then I can go in and control a little bit more if I want more of like a splotchy look. Okay. And then I'm going to go in down here. Same thing. And I'm moving my hand like this so that it kind of gets more coverage. And then we can pick this up. And then you have something like that. All right. And then take another paper and we're going to stamp this out. Just like that. I know I'm overthinking it, but I feel so bad that I forgot to do the stencils because nothing is worse than clicking on a video and it not being what you clicked on, right? So I'll definitely have to remember to put chapters on here. Well, there was some purple on here too. Interesting. All right. Add a little water splotches to get that kind of moving around. I know. Clickbait, yes. It's a good clickbait. I find clickbait, you know, sometimes I watch videos and I'm like, that did not match the title, but I still feel satisfied after. Like, I feel like I learned something, you know? So I do watch a lot of videos to help like grow my channel and things like that. And some of them are ridiculous. But anyways, I know I'm overthinking it. That's just what I do. All right, I'm going to spritz this and I'm going to clean it once again. I came through. We'll see with these techniques that I got. Because I wanted to grab, let me see if I can grab the stencil that I wanted real quick. Oh, I forgot I could take you guys with me. All right. I'm going to let's see. Let's see. I want a stencil with a lot of space, so I'm going to take that one, I think. Or so many stencils. And I purged like half of my stencils too. I have way too many. Okay. So I think this will work for what I want. I was looking for a leaf one, but my favorite leaf one, but I can't find it. So we're just going to go with this one. All right, let's do kind of here. And I'm actually going to stamp with my sprays. And so I'm going to grab, let's see. I'm going to grab this one. Sorry for the noise. Okay, and I'm actually going to take a little bit of Uncharted Mariner as well. And then maybe a little bit of pumice stone. And then this stinks really bad. Not like a good stamp smell either. All right. Just going to put that in there. And I'm not going to move it around too much because I do have a lot of different colors going on and I don't want it to all be a muddy color. And I'm just going to take it and stamp through that stencil like that. I'm kind of like doing partial stamping. And let's see. What kind of... This is a new stamp to me, so I don't know which areas I like the most yet. So... Okay. And then I'm going to take a little bit of water and then spritz, spritz, spritz. Just to get that moving around just a little bit. I don't want to. There we go. I'm going to pick up that splotch there and there. And I'm going to dry this. So I did some partial stamping with the sprays through a stencil with a lot of open area. So depending, I think a leaf would have looked cooler, but again, I couldn't find the one that I wanted. That's okay. Okay, now let's see, what do I want to do now? I think I'm going to add some splatters. Just because I can't just leave something like that, right? I can't. If that's your thing, then let it be. But I have to add more. All right. And then a little bit of the pumice stone. You can't even really tell that I used a stencil, but that's okay. So we're going to dry this. Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate it. You guys are too nice. All right, I'm going to set this one aside, and then let's do a, let's do like a tone on tone effect. So I'm going to take this one. This is using Seedless Preserved, picked raspberry, and maybe tattered rose, I'm thinking. And let's see. We'll do this one. And I'm going to do oxide over this. I think I have all of those oxides. Let me grab them. Oh no, I think it might be spun sugar. And picked raspberry. And what else did I say? I said Seedless Preserves. There we go. All right. All right, this one's really dirty, so it's not going to want to stay down as good. So, where'd my other magnet go? Oh, there it is. Okay, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cover up some of this. And I'm not going to do the whole stencil, so I'm going to try just to do kind of like partial. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of it, cover up that top a little bit, and then the bottom, because I don't want too much overspray. And then for this one, I'm actually going to mix in a little bit of the spritz. A little bit down here. I'm going to shake this up. Just lightly spritz that over top just to give it a little shimmer. Well, why not? And then I'm going to take that and then do Seedless Preserves. On the bottom here, and I'm going to do on this side this time. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So now it's probably hard to see, but it's there, I promise. And then we're going to stamp with these. I'll have to take pictures and then upload them so you can see it. So I'm going to spritz this with a little bit of water. And then again, even though this will be backwards, it's going to still be pretty cool. So I'm going to do like partial stamping with the stencil. Where is that? I'll do just like that. I spent all my creative juices with all the different color combinations. All right. Now I'm going to spritz this. A little bit of water here. And then I'm going to go in with a little picked raspberry. There we go. And then, what's this one? Spun sugar oxide. Some of these sprayers are really hard to spray like a little bit. So I'm just going to take it and splatter it on there. And then we'll take, let's see, this preserves oxide. And just do the same up top here. And then on the bottom right here. Okay, and then we're going to spritz, spritz, spritz. And for this one, I'm actually going to set this aside somewhere. Let's see. There we go. Okay. I need to clean my hands real quick, and then we'll do like a ghosting effect with the stencils. There's my baby wipes. There is too many techniques, you know, to do them all. I was talking to a friend yesterday. She's like, "You're giving that class?" Because I was telling her everything. She's like, "The PDF alone that you did is worth more than $12. Like, I know. I'm just very passionate about helping people use their supplies, and not just use them, but like fall in love with them, because it's one thing to like use something, but then it's another thing to find that technique that you absolutely love, and then with the supplies that you have in your stash. So, and some things just aren't people's cup of tea, and that's okay. All right, let's do, we're going to do like a full background. I love watching your tutorials. Your crayon class was awesome. Aw, one of my faves now. I'm going to be getting reinkers instead of sprays now too. Awesome. That's awesome. You know, I use crayons a bit here and there, but it wasn't until the class where I was like, okay, because several people over time were like, we need a distress crayon class. We need a distress crayon class. I'm like, I don't use those. So I literally locked myself in my room for probably a good week and a half, and just lots of techniques didn't work. Lots of them worked, some better than others. And they really are one of my favorites to work with as well. Okay, so, and sometimes you just have to do that. You have to just sit and play, you know, not really worrying about an end result, which is hard sometimes, right? I think I'm going to do the rusty hinge and the salvage patina. Aw, thanks, Wendy. I appreciate that. And people watching my videos again and using my affiliate links, and then of course signing up for the classes and things like that, really help keep the class price low. Okay. And it does matter how many people sign up too, because if 5 people were to sign up for my class, it wouldn't be worth spending, I'd say, at least 80 hours on a class with everything that I do, you know, for $12. So it all kind of just comes together full circle, like, I think. So, all right, we're just going to make a simple background here, and then we're going to use some stencils to kind of pick up some of that color. Oops, sorry. Hope that wasn't too loud in your ear. Hi, Julie. Hello. We're just hanging out, crafting. And I don't provide supplies or anything either. So I think, you know, that matters as well. And I really try to get people to use what they have in their stash. Sometimes it doesn't work. There's several people that are like, I don't have any sprays, but I'm signing up for your class because I love your classes. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stop you. It's the beach. Yeah. It does look like the beach, huh? We were just at the beach. Oh my gosh. I haven't taken good pictures of my kids in forever. Like they would not, Abby hates pictures in general, but she definitely would not take pictures um, with my son, her brother, because ew, right? Older brother, gross. And I was like, you know what? The only thing that I want is for you guys to take good pictures at the beach so that I can finally send a good picture with our Christmas cards. And they did. And oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I did some senior pictures for my son as well at the beach. I'm going to hire somebody to do some of them too, but I have a good camera, good lens. I used to do photography actually, baby photography and families too, but I loved um, doing babies. All right, I'm going to clean my stencil off. I just hate editing the photos. Even if I get everything right in camera, it's always something that you have to edit out or whatever. All right. Hopefully this will work. Some colors are better than others at doing this like ghosting effect, picking up that color. So I'm going to take it like this. And for this, I'm just going to take a baby wipe, see if it will work. And I'm just going to lightly, nope, I can't lightly do that because I'm ripping the paper. Some papers can handle a little bit of wiping away, but some can't. I think I'm going to add a little bit of water. And then we'll take a baby wipe. Oh, these colors are amazing together. I'm just going to pick up some of that color. Yeah, this is going to work great. So I'm spritzing with a little bit of water and then taking a baby wipe. You can use a paper towel as well, but it looks like it's going to work really great. Let's see. I'm going to dry this a little bit. Not too much because obviously I don't want to melt the plastic, right? Oh, thanks, Jennifer. All right, we're going to pick this up. Let me grab a paper towel real quick. I'm going to spritz with a little bit more water and then really get into the paper and pick a lot of that color up. Because it's not as like oomphy. I don't know what the word is. It doesn't have like the greatest impact just yet. I'm going to hopefully try to get that. There we go. Let's see if this will work. Some of it is good. Not too bad. Let me dry it and see what happens. Certain stencils and colors, everything comes into play when doing different techniques. So, oh, Debbie, thank you. You're a rock star. You're amazing, Debbie. Thank you. Thank you. You're so appreciated. All right. So there's like a ghosting effect, right? So really, really fun. I am going to do another live now that I didn't start out with with the stencils because I have more ideas. I keep looking at the clock because my son's going to get out of school and be home and all the things. So yeah, you know, I will say the only reason why I went with this one versus a different one is because, or I like this one, I should say, because I do have the other brand. I can't remember, Honeybee Stamps, maybe something like that. This one, you can take it, and I'll show you actually, and you can stamp with it from the other side. So I'm going to take it like that. And then because there's texture on the back, hopefully this will show up. You can stamp that grid texture right on the back there. Waffle Flower. Yeah, that's the one. I think it's Waffle Flower. I don't remember. It's a different brand. I just can't remember which brand it is. I know it's a brand that I don't use very often. So, all right, I'm going to take some of that rusty hinge and do the same here. I'm going to stamp off because so that's pretty cool. All right, let me clean this up. And I think I'm going to be done for today. Hoping to go live again next week. No promises. But yeah. Because I gotta get back into the groove of my kids being gone for school and everything. I'm reorganizing my kitchen and all types of things now that they're gone, not making messes all day, every day. Oh man. All right. So here's a one dried. So now that it's dried, you can probably see a little bit. Is it dark? I feel like it's dark. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, it's probably better. All right, so now that it's dried, you can see the oxide effect on there a little bit more. And then a little bit of shimmer, not too much. I don't think I shook it good enough, but yeah. We did that one, this, whatever that one is. This one's really cool, like that one. I don't really tend to use these that often, to be honest. It kind of depends on the stencil, the stencil, but I usually have a bunch of these. I usually like the ones like the stamped stencil look better. And then this is one where we stamped through the stencil, although you can't really tell. And then we did this color combination. What other ones did we do? I know there's more. Or was that it? Maybe that was it. I'll probably find a stack of backgrounds somewhere. My desk is horrendous. Let me just show you some of the backgrounds. Well, that one's just a prep one. Yeah, look at this one. I don't remember what this was from, but I love these with the stamping. More prep paper. Stencil, more stencil, another stencil. And then this one is using just the shimmer, or the spritz, I should say. for that. And then I'm going to show you one more time the cards we'll make in the class, if I can find them. So if you haven't signed up, I would love to have you. So here's one card. This is a pre-recorded video. We are not going to do this one in class. We're going to do this one in class, as well as several basic techniques. And then we'll go over a lot of like the paste and the differences between the sprays, and, you know, and then we'll take it to the next level and create a card. And this is using all 4 types of sprays as well. So yeah, I'm going to pop the link to the class. And let's see here. And then also a link to the free PDF. So is anybody signed up for the class, or no, not your thing? And that's totally fine. No worries. All right, so here's the class. Let me grab the color combination. The date is going to be August 24th. But if you can't make it live, you will have ongoing access to the live replay, pre-recorded content, all of the materials and everything. So, all right, let me grab. There it is. So this is the free PDF if you haven't grabbed it. And it will sign you up for my emails. And I try to only send 1 email a week. But yeah, so I hope this got your creative juices flowing. If you played along during this live, share it on social media. I would love to see it. And if you're part of the group, the Facebook group, be sure to share it there as well. Love to see it over there and inspire people. So yeah. Thanks, Lucinda. Yeah, it was fun. When I don't go live for a while, I kind of feel a little rusty. Like, I miss you guys, you know, I miss hanging out with everybody and just chatting and stuff. So it was fun. Hopefully I'll go live again next week. But again, no promises. Kathy, I'm pretty sure you signed up for the class, but the Facebook group is only for people that have purchased classes from me. So, but I'm pretty sure you signed up. So if you signed up for any of my classes, you should have gotten an email, and then it should have had a link to the Facebook group. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you all. And hopefully, you know, in the next month or so, I can get back in the groove of like creating regular content as well. I'm really, really trying to strive to get that 100K by the end of the year. It's a stretch because I took a lot of time off from creating regular content, like regular videos, which those are the ones that bring me the most new subscribers. So if you like sharing, sharing is caring. Share my channel if you feel like it will help somebody. If you want. Yeah, so I think that's it. Now I have to clean up again, but I enjoyed all of you chatting with everybody, and thank you all so much for all the support and being here to watch. All right, I will catch everybody later. Bye.